Man, there's something magical about this A's team right now.
Yep.
9 straight wins. They get the sweep of the Astros this weekend. As we welcome in Tony Kemp to the show right now. Tony, it's incredible watching this group of guys. So first of all, thanks so much for joining us. And I got to tell you, green and gold looks good on you. It suits you well, man.
No, guys, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I was watching that segment with JD Davis, and there was a time when we were with the Astros in the minor leagues, not thinking if we were going to make it to the big leagues because how stacked we are. But yeah, I'm happy to see JD's doing well. We probably talk at least 2 to 3 times a month, but he's a good baseball player.
You guys are good dudes, too, both emerging here in 2020. Hey, Tony, this is a Monday coming off a weekend. I'm just wondering, did you get into anything fun or crazy this weekend, maybe yesterday?
Yeah, a little scuffle between my new friends and my old friends. So, yeah, it was just, it was unfortunate that, it escalated to that point. But unfortunately, some things were said about Laureano's mom in that instance. And I think if somebody had talked to my mom about my mom like that, I don't think I would hold back either. So can't blame them.
Wow, not holding back. I like it.
No,
Tell them the truth.
Yeah, and you do have friends on the other side. We know that, not just friends because they were teammates, but like lifelong bonds together. So how was that handled afterwards, since you're kind of the bridge between the old friends and the new friends, as you mentioned? Because it was serious.
Yeah, it's a little different of a dynamic that I've never experienced before, but it's definitely enjoyable. I mean, even running into the little scuffle, trying to hold Maldonado back, me and Lance were actually holding him back underneath his chest protector. So even though it was a big scuffle, we managed to find our way toward the same person, holding back the same guy. So kind of tells you, when you're friends like that, you don't even need to say anything. You just kind of end up in the same spot. But I'm happy nobody got hurt, and I'm happy that we were able to come away with a good homestand sweep.
So interesting when we see teams get in a skirmish, it's always these guys against these guys. But when you talk to Tony Kemp, and we spoke this offseason about how close he is with the Astros, I mean, he was in Carlos Correa's wedding this offseason. I mean,
looking fresh, too.
Yeah, and looking really good. The custom suit, I mean, the fact that you guys look at how fresh this, I love this picture.
Yeah, that was a great time. First time for my wife and I to go down to the Dominican, and obviously blessed to be in his wedding. And, I remember meeting Carlos Correa for the first time in 2013 with his fedora hat on. That was when he was in his fedora stage. And, yeah, you just knew he was going to be a special talent.
So, Tony, you talked about the bonds you had with current teammates, former teammates like Carlos, JD Davis. Also, them Vandy boys. And we had Sonny Gray on 2 weeks ago, and he said that the text thread has been going off just because so many guys are having quality starts to the season. Can you give us a little taste of the exchanges thus far for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, our group chat, it probably has about 10 to 15 texts a day. It's pretty interesting. These guys are awesome, and especially when, we were in lockdown, the best we could do was find a local high school, and I was able to face Lance Lynn, Sonny Gray, Kirk Casale was catching, Yaz was hitting, I was hitting. So we had about a group of about 15 guys come out there to get work in before we went back for spring training 2.0. But yeah, those Vandy boys, they run deep, and you can tell that they care a lot about it. And especially, I was texting Yaz this morning, and getting a single off Bueller had to feel good. So even though we're part of the Vandy connection, we still are competitors when we get on the field.
AD, it must have been something in those juice boxes that Sonny Gray was dragging around in the red wheelbarrow. Must have been something.
I love watching baseball, Vandy, man. I was at Kamar Rocker's no-hitter. That was incredible watching anyone. Yeah,
electric.
At Vandy. Speaking of Vandy, you just posted something on Instagram where you said, too short, undersized, below average arm, no power in his bat, no starting spot for him at Vandy, no starting spot for him in Major League Baseball, but here you are. So what's the point of a post like that? What's your message to people who didn't believe?
Yeah, I think it's more for the kids who are coming up in this day and age that they need to hit the ball 100 miles an hour off the bat. They need to throw 95 plus from the outfield to even get looked at. It's more for, the kids that, haven't really got their shot yet. I don't want them to get discouraged just because someone is in a position of doing something that they aren't able to do. So, they kind of, rain a parade on their dreams, and I don't want that to happen. So it was more for those kids, more for just being able to say, hey, you can do whatever you set your mind to. And I don't want people to be concerned with outside opinions. So because I remember being concerned with them at some point, and then I was just like, you just have to use those negative words and use them in a positive way when you're in the cage or in the weight room. So it was more a message for the younger generation, the younger crowd is playing baseball, to don't give up on their dreams and keep pushing forward no matter what somebody says.
You love this guy. Now, he told me this offseason, I asked him what his life-saving skill was. He said, do you remember what you told me, Tony?
No, I don't.
You told me your charming personality was your life-saving skill.
It gets you out of anything.
And I feel like that's just so who you are. So you're in this new A's clubhouse. Who's gravitating towards this personality? Who are you meshing with so far?
Honestly, it's a great group of guys. The reason I love this clubhouse so much is because being on the other side, I was always concerned, about this team and about how hard they played. And I just always feel like, Oakland and the Bay, you always just have that blue collar mentality of just go out and be a baseball player. And I feel like that's what a lot of guys on this team are. But obviously looking up to guys like Marcus Semien, who's been around, he's been working his butt off on the field and off the field. And just to watch that guy blossom into, finish in top 3 in the AL MVP voting last year is just amazing. So, obviously been meshing with a lot of guys, but one guy that I will have to say is becoming one of my good friends is Chad Pinder. And we've actually played against each other since we were in short season in Vermont when we had just got drafted 7 years ago. It's crazy. Wow. I'm getting old, but and I remember just talking to him. I know that he was a second-round pick out of Virginia Tech, and I was freshly out of Vanderbilt, and we were just kind of talking about the minor leagues and how different it was. And now being able to be his teammate, I kind of understood what he went through being a role guy with the Oakland A's and me being a role guy with the Houston Astros. So we kind of bounced ideas off each other, how to keep ourselves ready, even though sometimes we're not in the lineup every day. So, I'd probably have to say Chad Pinder.
I absolutely love that and love what you are doing for the game.
Yep.
And for people, and what we're going through as a country right now as a whole. The +1 effect is absolutely, touching everyone's hearts. The fact that you are talking about honest and open conversations about race is something that we all need to get involved in. So we love that, Tony. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it, and good luck this season.
Hey, guys, thanks for having me. I appreciate it, and keep talking about those tough and difficult conversations. We can all be the change in this world we need to see. So appreciate you guys.